Kevin Stevenson here at GetMeTheGeek.com, and today we're going to do our first product review, Eero Wi-Fi Mesh System. I've been using this on a couple projects, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's get started. I'm Kevin Stevenson with PhasedLogix. We're a managed IT services provider. If you'd like to hire us for projects, go ahead and check us out at GetMeTheGeek.com. If you find my videos valuable, go ahead and subscribe and like. If you'd like to support me directly, go ahead and buy me a coffee. All right, first off, let's take a look at Eero. So this is website Eero, and if you didn't know it, Eero is owned by Amazon. They purchased them a little while back, and their first system is this, what you see over here. Now let me just make that a little bigger. Yep. So Eero is these little pods. It's a mesh Wi-Fi system, and what you can do is, if you're getting bad coverage in your house or your business and you need to make that better, this is a good product for that. Competing product is Google's Wi-Fi system, Google Nest Wi-Fi, whatever they're calling it now. They keep changing their names. But anyway, I really like the Eero. So first, you get the original Eero pack like this. You can get them in individuals. They're not cheap. However, you do get what you pay for. So spend the money, get the quality. The first product, these here that you see, are ones that I've deployed out at a couple clients. So first time I deployed it was out at a house, family house. It was a 2-story house, and they had difficulties getting Wi-Fi connectivity in all of their house, upstairs and in like the laundry room or crafting rooms and a couple of these other things. And so it was just spotty coverage. This solved the problem easily. It was awesome. So what I did was, you take one of these pieces and you plug it in as the router coming in off your DSL cable modem, whatever your internet connection is, and that'll be a router. You can set them in bridge mode, and then take that first one, you get it all set up, and then you go and you take your next one and you go set it in a halfway point between where you're having bad connectivity, and you run through its wizard. And when you set this up in the app, it will do a placement, and it will actually connect to it and tell you whether you have good connectivity or bad. And if it's bad connectivity, the app will tell you to go ahead and maybe try to replace it in a different spot. So that is really key to this, because sometimes you think you might have a great spot for your Wi-Fi connectivity in the mesh system, but then again, you might not. So we did this. I put one in where their DSL connection was in a living room, and then one out in the dining room, and that gave a good connection for there. And then I put one upstairs which was directly above the dining room one, so it would go through the floor up to it, and that gave great coverage in the living room, the craft room, the upstairs, all of it, and made a huge improvement. They'd had all kinds of problems with their Wi-Fi. Then another case where I use this is at a restaurant. Restaurant had bad Wi-Fi connection. They're trying to have networking meetings and people coming in there to work on their PCs and have a coffee or lunch and so on and so forth. One of those friendly places that wants you to be able to come in there and plop down your laptop and do some work and partake of their hospitality services, or maybe they'll have a networking events and you need to get on those Zoom meetings, which are very, very common these days. So we went out there and did the same situation. I went and we replaced their router, popped in the Eero, and then we placed the other 2 units in their building so that they could get good coverage. And this particular one had a lot of brick and a lot of concrete walls in between different rooms in the restaurant, and so it was tricky. And using that placement app as part of the app was very, very helpful there. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and talk about that. Those were all these original Eero systems, mesh Wi-Fi, and the way it works. Let's just go ahead and click on this, how it works. And we'll see, you can see, go through this website and check out how some of this stuff works. But basically the way this works is your main unit will act as a router and it'll transmit your Wi-Fi connection. And then you get a second unit which will act as a relay and a transmitter. So it'll channel from the second unit to the first unit as a backhaul connection, and then it'll reposition, expand your coverage. Now this is basically the same thing as what a Wi-Fi repeater has done over the years, but this is more sophisticated than what you used to get, and it works a whole heck of a lot better. So then you take your third one and you can do it in an additional connection, additional spot, and it'll connect to whichever one is closest. However, you can also have a hardwire. So say your first connection is hardwired in, and then you have another connection, hardwire Ethernet connection somewhere. So you could put your second spot there and create good coverage, and the backhaul actually be a hard line. And then maybe your third one is a Wi-Fi bridge, mesh hop. So that is pretty awesome, and pretty awesome for getting things going. So, and today I am going to talk about the new one, the Pro series. So I have some the Pro here, and here it is. I'll show you a better picture of that in a minute. Basically, the Pro comes with this pack comes with a router one, which the old ones all had 2 Ethernet ports on them. And you can still get these, and I call them the old one. It's just the Eero and the Eero Pro. The regular Eero has 2 Ethernet ports on it. The Eero Pro is the only one that has a Ethernet ports on it. But the Pro does have more powerful Wi-Fi than the original Eero. Then you have the beacons, which is these little guys here, which are basically you just plug it into an outlet, and it does the Wi-Fi repeating mesh stuff. So that is awesome. So in this package that I have here, what you get is, let me see, yep. So this is the package that I have right here. It's one Eero Pro, 2 beacons. And I'm going to unbox that, show you what we have. So let me show you. Let's switch over that, and here we go. Okay, here is that container. So let's flip it over real quick, and if you look at this here, have some nice pictures and talks about everything here. Nothing super special about the packaging. Wired for setup, supports Android and iOS devices. May be required. So you really do need a Wi-Fi. Sorry, you really do need an iOS or an Android device to get this set up, and I'm going to just kind of over here so you get a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this baby up. Oh yeah, listen to that. Wonderful unpackaging. I really love getting into boxes. It's like having a Christmas or a birthday party or anything like that. So let's just talk real quick here. So by the way, this is one of the first reviews I've done. So if you like reviews, you want to see more reviews from me, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and go ahead and like this video if you get something out of it. So all right, let's pull that off of there. Ooh, look at this nice black box. Okay, so ta-da! Here we have it. The Pro with 2 Ethernet cables. And one of the things I also like about this is the fact that it is USB-C powered. So if you take a look at that now, USB-C, 2 Ethernet ports, and power. All right, so these guys, pretty straightforward. Yep, just plug it in there, no Ethernet connections. And of course, there's a second one. There is a little button right here. I'm assuming it is like a power cycle or something like that. In the box also we get this right here, which is our instructions and power. That'll power for the Pro version. Now, when you get the regular Eero product, it comes with these. Each one of the little boxes has one of these with it. So, get the app, unplug, begin, and that's all there is to it. So, now let's go ahead and do that. Get back to you once I have this plugged in, and we'll get into the app and I'll show you how it works. Okay, here we are. Here is the app, and this is how we set stuff up. I'm going to go ahead and do some of this stuff. I'm going to fill this out, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Okay, so real quick, so you'll get terms of services. Go ahead and check that box, hit next, and then I'm going to get a verification code. Oop. Out that. Now, it says disconnect from your old network and move forward. Hit next. And in this particular case, we're going to choose Eero Pro. And it's going to give you this stuff, all that stuff we saw earlier. And go ahead and hit start. Plug it in. Next. Connected. And Eero is being set up. Now, while it's doing that, I will show you that this little light here is turned blue. And then it wants to select where it's at. I'm going to select basement, and then I'm going to fill in my network and passwords. I'm going to pull that off of there. Boom! Your network's been created. Now it wants you to set up a beacon. So, go here. One of these little guys. Plug it in somewhere. Continue. Now, it wants you to talk about your home shape. Long, square, one is for 2 stories. We're going to do 2 stories, 3 floors. If you have a basement, main floor, and an upstairs maybe. So let's just go ahead and select that. And then it's going to say, hey, place these guys right here, tips. And one on every floor, next tip. In the open, away from electronics, done. Now, nightlight. The beacons have a nightlight when enabled. So your nightlight will automatically turn on and off depending on the brightness of your room. Once your Eero beacon is set up, you will be able to adjust the settings in your app. Use the button on and off side. Okay, so there we go. Plug your beacon in. My beacon's already plugged in. Let's see if it'll find it. Detected. Run placement test. And so this is the part about this that is really awesome. When I was out at that restaurant and there was concrete walls in between things, brick and stuff like that, I had to move this 2 or 3 times before it found a great place. And it was just very helpful. So if you have a home that has basement, or you're getting bad coverage, that will really help you out. There you go. Hit next. And then where is it at? Family room. All right, successful. Next. Continue setup. So if you have more beacons, you can set them up. That's the same process. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and then we will be here, and you'll look at this. So by default, you get 30 days free of some of their advanced stuff, the paid for features of Eero. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would I want to do this? Well, the question is, do you get benefit out of these things? content filter, ad blockings, advanced security. Yes, you do get value out of these. However, you don't have to have them, so you can just go turn them all off. So you go here to discover, and then you got this security. Right here it is. You can set that to off. Turn off advanced security, go back, hit the home, and security trial is inactive. So what you see there now, what you see here is internet, basement, and family room. So these are your two devices. And if you want to do like port forwarding or anything like that, come down and click here and go to advanced, and you'll see reservations and port forwarding. You need to add firewall rules for port forwarding. You can do that right here. If you want to go ahead and mess with the DHCP bridge mode, you want to switch it to bridge mode, you can do that, or automatic or manual IP. So if you have a static IP address, UPnP, you can turn that on or off. Honestly, if UPnP is one of those kind of security vulnerability things that's out there. So if you don't have gaming consoles or stuff like that, then I recommend just go ahead and turn that off. Thread. So if you have thread enabled stuff in your smart home devices, thread is kind of a new standard of stuff. So you may or may not have that. It does support it. And also, you may want to set up a guest network. Go under settings, there's guest. Go to guest and you turn it on, and then you'll have this automatic password here that they'll put in. You can obviously change that to whatever you want. Here are the details. So then there is a guest Wi-Fi network, and the guest Wi-Fi network is isolated and does the basic good stuff that way. So that's all there is to setting up Eero. If you found this enjoyable, or if you learned something from this, go ahead and like this video or subscribe to my channel. I want to know if you'd like me to do more of these hardware unboxing / reviews. If so, go ahead and let me know. Thanks for joining me.